We managed to talk about all those 9 things. We managed to organize all of our stuff for the upcoming events we're actually trying to do. And we managed to see if everyone's going to be available those days, the different contacts that we need to call, what are we going to do on those days, and everything under 50 minutes. Yo, what's up and welcome to episode 47 of The Journey. Okay, so right now we're in what I call my backup recording area because my desk in my room is like really not looking neat right now. My sister's kind of messed up the area, but I'm gonna get that all fixed for next week. But that's not the topic for today. Today I want to show you guys how you should organize your meetings and everything and why you should do that. So this video is mainly me divided into 2 points. The 2 points I'm going to talk to you guys about. But before diving into those 2 points, I want to talk about 2 examples of meetings that I've been in, right? When I'm talking about meetings, I'm talking about meetings with your own team, right? Not with clients or stuff like that, with your own team, your organization, your enterprise, and all that. Because you guys do need to consult each other to know what the game plan is, right? So here are the 2 examples. Yesterday, on my way back home, we have this neighborhood committee for like the young teenagers and everything. We organized some stuff for the kids and they put me in it. And so while I'm on the bus and I'm coming back home, they call me like, hey, we're doing a meeting today at 4 p.m. I'm like, you guys didn't tell me, but okay, sure, I'll be there. So that already, it kind of bugged me, right? Because I was like, last minute meetings, I don't really like that type of stuff unless it's something urgent. And that's the funny part, it was nothing really urgent. So we go to the meeting, it's at someone's house, right? And we're just looking at each other's, right? We're just looking at each other's and we're waiting for the person who convoked all of us to actually come. And we're waiting for everyone to be there because not everyone was there on time because they did it last minute, right? So then everyone's there and the guy's like, okay, so what do we need to talk about? So already there I was like, wait, you did a meeting and you don't even know what we're gonna talk about? Like, that just bugged me. Like, you can't do a meeting and not, you know what, hold up. That's gonna be in the points I'm gonna talk about. Just hold up. So we did a meeting and this meeting lasted 5 freaking hours. 5 freaking hours. I mean, we mainly talked about one thing, about how we're gonna finance the little activities we wanted to do for the kids during Christmas. That was it. That was the main subject of the meeting. And I'm just like, really? Really? I was shocked. Like, not only did they do this meeting last minute, but they didn't know what they wanted to talk about. And when we actually found something to talk about, we lasted like 5 hours on it because we didn't know we were going to talk about it. So that was the first meeting on Friday. Now today, I did a meeting with my organization, KC, right? Kids Connect Africa. And it didn't even last, I think, maximum 50 minutes. Even though we didn't talk about this one thing, we talked about 9 things. 9 things, right? So we managed to talk about all those 9 things. We managed to organize all of our stuff for the upcoming events we're actually trying to do for December, February, April, and June. And we managed to see if everyone's like gonna be available those days, the different contacts that we need to call, what are we gonna do on those days, and everything under 50 minutes. So if you want to know how I did all that, just keep watching. So basically, here are the 2 points. Point number 1 is that you need to announce these meetings at least 2 weeks in advance, or at least a week in advance. Because like, imagine she has school, or like she has some classes to go to, or he has some classes to go to, or he has an appointment somewhere, and like last minute you call them to say, hey dude, we have a meeting. Well, they might not be able to come because you just warned them last minute. Like, the odds of them actually making it is not as high as it would be if you had asked them, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. Or like what we usually do in our organization, we actually we have someone in the team who sends out an email to every one of us to say, we're having a meeting in 2 weeks on this specific date, and she gives out the subject of the meeting, right? Now, me being the head of the organization, what I do afterwards, I just develop the subject, right? Which leads us to the second point. When we have our meetings, we don't just come there and after we're like, okay, let's talk about this. Like, we don't figure out what we're going to talk about at the meeting. We do that before the meeting. This meeting that we had, the 9 points that we talked about, I wrote all of that in our KCA group conversation. So everyone had the time to think about it, have something to say, and we all managed to discuss and find solutions. Now let's say I want to do a meeting to talk about one specific thing, but no one else knows, right? So we go there and it's quiet. Have you ever, like, for people who have been in meetings, do you ever just go in a meeting and then everyone's just looking at each other like, it gets super awkward, like really awkward. So when everyone has a clear idea of what we're going to talk about before the meeting, meaning that they had at least a good 2 days, like let's say they had other stuff to do, right? And they're like, oh yeah, we have a meeting in 2 days. They just pop up the convo, look at what we're gonna talk about, think about it just for a while, even if it's like 2 hours before the meeting, at least have a fresh mind on what we're going to talk about. So like when I'm talking about like point 1 of the meeting, someone else can like get up and say, yeah, I think we should do this, but maybe we should do that too. So we have different ideas that develop during this meeting. Those are the 2 main things that I do with my KCA team to make almost all of our meetings efficient, fast, and productive. That's the main thing. So if you want to like organize a meeting and have to talk about something with your team, just make sure that you organize it and you plan it in advance, meaning that everyone knows when the date's gonna be and it's not like last minute. And also make sure everyone knows what you guys are going to talk about. Like have a subject, put out different points you're going to talk about, and send all of that to everyone, unless it's a surprise or something like that, but send all of it to everyone who's going to be assisting this meeting. Anyways, that's all I really wanted to tell you guys, because often I see so many people do meetings that last 4 hours, but for no freaking reason, right? For no freaking reason. So honestly, I really suggest you guys use these 2 tips, planning and setting out the different topics that you're gonna talk about with your team. It will honestly make your meetings a lot more productive, efficient, and everything, and you will waste less time. If you guys like this video, just make sure to subscribe, probably share it with someone you think could benefit from this video, and remember, when life gives you lemons, make apple juice. Peace.